So far we have studied two methods, that is the direct method and the deviation or assumed mean method. Now there is one more method of finding out the mean, that is step deviation method. Now in the deviation method, what we were doing is we were actually assuming the one number, that is we were taking it as an assumed mean, and we were subtracting that number from each of the observations. And after doing that, is actually reducing our calculation, and in the end, for finding out the mean, we were actually adding the same assumed mean, so that we are getting the correct mean. But now here in the step deviation method, what we can do is, other than finding out the deviation, that is xi minus a, what we are doing here is, what we will do here is, we'll find out the ui also, and ui is actually xi minus a, that is deviation divided by h, and h is some random value that we can take, and divide this deviation by h, so that it will reduce the number even further, and accordingly we will get the smaller number, and then that makes the calculation much easier and faster. So that's why we are doing here as we are dividing the deviation by h, so that we can be able to reduce the number even more. So this is known as the step deviation method. And after doing this, what we were doing is, we actually need to find out the summation of fi ui, because in the previous case we are actually taking the deviation, so that's why we are doing fi di, but now we are further dividing the deviation by the h, so accordingly we will take fi ui. And for finding out the mean, what we need to do is, we definitely have to add the assumed mean that we were doing in the previous case, and apart from this we also had to multiply this summation of fi ui divided by summation of fi by h, because actually we are dividing it by h. So for finding out the mean, we definitely have to multiply it by h, and then we need to add assumed mean, so accordingly we will get the correct mean. So this is the method of finding out the mean by the step deviation method. And all these methods are actually beneficial when we have the large numbers of the large numbers in the observations, and to make the calculation very much easier and faster, we actually have to reduce those numbers to the smaller numbers, and then we can be able to do the calculation properly and quickly. So accordingly we'll see one example based on this, and then we'll be able to understand how to get the mean by the step deviation method. So first we'll write down the example, that is, first we'll write down the observations and the frequencies given on the basis of that. So let's take the observations as 800, 820, 860, 900, 920, 980, and let's take 1000. And let's take the frequencies as 7, 14, 19, 25, 20, 10 and 5. So these are the observations and frequencies we have taken. Now accordingly what we will do first we'll take the assumed mean. So accordingly the same method, like first we take the assumed mean, then accordingly we'll take the h. So let's take the assumed mean as let's take 900. 900 is the middle values among all these observations. So let's take the assumed mean as 900 and take the value of h as let's take 20, because all the values of x are actually divisible by all 20. So that's why we have taken it as 20. Because we also have to keep in mind this thing, that after dividing it by h, we definitely will not get the decimal value, because if we get a decimal value, then our calculation will get increased. So better to take the integers value after dividing it by h. So accordingly we need to take the value of h such that, so that we will not get the decimal value. So now as we have taken the assumed mean and h, and now what we'll do first we'll find out the deviation, that is di. So as we'll find out the deviation, what we'll get here as deviation, as we know, is observations minus assumed mean. So observation is here as 800 and assumed mean is 900. So that's why accordingly the deviation is, so accordingly the deviation that we'll get is xi minus 8, that is 800 minus 900, minus 100, 820 minus 900, minus 80, 860 minus 900, minus 40, 0, 20, 80 and 100. So this is the value of di we got. And now what we need to find out? We need to find out ui. Ui is di divided by h. So accordingly minus 100 divided by 20 will get as minus 5, minus 80 divided by 20 minus 4, minus 40 divided by 20 minus 2, 0, 1, 20 divided by 21, 80 divided by 20 will get 4 and 100 divided by 20 will get 5. So accordingly this is the value of ui we got. Because if we need to find out the, if we keep finding out the mean here by the direct method, then definitely your calculation get increased, because to do the calculation like 800 into 7 here, then 820 into 14, so it will actually increase our calculation by a very large extent. So that's why we have done it like this, that we have taken the assumed mean and h, and accordingly we have reduced the observations. Because after subtracting from assumed mean also, we were getting the big values like 100, 80, 40, and then multiplied by frequency will give us the bigger values or greater number. So again what we have done, we have again reduced the deviation to the smaller number by dividing it by h, and now we got at minus 5, minus 4, minus 2, 0, 1, 4, 5, and this is comparatively the smaller values as compared to the x or d, or the di, that is deviation. And now what we do is we will find out the fi ui, that is we will multiply this ui with frequencies. So that is 7 will be multiplied by minus 5, so accordingly we will get minus 35, 14 by minus 4, so accordingly we will get minus 56, 19 by minus 2 will get minus 38, 0, 20, 40 and 25. So this is the value of fi ui we got, and our frequencies given were 7, 14, 19, 25, 20, 10 and 5. Now what we do is we will add up this fi ui, and summation of this fi ui will be, if we add all these terms accordingly, what we will get as 40 plus 20, 60 plus 20, 85, 85 minus 35, accordingly we will get 50. So 50 minus 56 minus 6, and minus 6 minus 38 will give us the value minus 44. And summation of fi, because we need to divide the summation of fi ui by summation of fi, that is 7 plus 14, 21 plus 19, 40, 40 plus 25, 65 plus 20, 85 plus 10, 95 plus 500. So this is the value we got of fi. And now for finding out the mean, what we need to do is we'll take the assumed mean. So assumed mean we have taken it as 900 plus h is 20 multiplied by summation of fi ui, that is minus 44 divided by summation of fi, that is 100. And now this is much easier to solve as compared to if we have done it by direct method or even the deviation method. So step deviation method is much more useful when we have much larger number, as we have taken the numbers in deviation method, they were comparatively smaller number as compared to the numbers that we have taken in this particular example. So they are much larger number. So that's why we have done it by step deviation method, because they are then the number gets reduced to very smaller number. And now if we solve it, what we'll get is 20, we will cancel this 5, so now we will get a 900 minus 44 divided by 5, and 44 divided by 5, if we will do, what accordingly we will get is, accordingly we will get the approximate value that will be equal to 44 divided by 5, it's 8.8. And now if we subtract it, what will get? 900 minus 8.8. So accordingly we will get as 891.2. So this is the mean we got, and if we have done it by direct method or even the deviation method, definitely we'll get the same value, but calculation will become much larger. And here you are seeing calculation has become much less as compared to the direct method or even the deviation method. And we have got the answer in just 2 steps of the mean. And even the table is not even complicated. And if we are finding out the summation of Fi ui and summation of Fi, so even the table is not much complicated. So this is the method of finding out the mean that we have studied 3 methods, and by using any of the 3 methods we can actually solve the any frequency distribution table and get the mean. And in the same way, as we have seen here, that how to solve the discrete frequency distribution table and for finding out the mean. In the same way, if we go instead of the discrete frequency distribution table, if we get continuous frequency distribution table, if we get continuous frequency distribution table, what we need to do is, in the continuous frequency distribution table, definitely what we need to do is, there are class intervals given with the frequencies, and what we can do, we actually need to find out the observations or x, let's say class marks, for finding out the mean. And like suppose if I take any example based on this, let's take the class intervals. As you know, the continuous frequency distribution table consists of class intervals and frequencies. So let's take the class interval as 0 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, then 60 to 80, and accordingly 80 to 100. And accordingly we will take the frequencies as 15, 8, 21, 29 and 17. So accordingly these frequencies we have taken. Now definitely if the class intervals are given, we cannot be able to find out the mean directly, because for finding out the mean we definitely need the observation. So what we can do here, we'll actually find out the class marks, that is x. And class marks we have already know how to find out, that is upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. This is the method of finding out the class marks that we have studied in class 9th. That is so accordingly the class marks will get as 0 plus 20 divided by 2, that is 10, 30, 50, 70 and 90. So this is the class marks we got. And now as we got the class marks, that is x and frequencies, now by using any of the method like direct method, step deviation method or deviation method, we can easily find out the mean. So if you need to find out the mean here, we can also use the deviation method here or the step deviation method here also. That's not an issue. So if we take if we do it by step deviation method, definitely we need to take the assumed mean, and let's take the assumed mean as 50 because it is the middle value among the class marks, and let's take h as 10. So now accordingly we will find out the deviation and ui. So accordingly deviation is 10 minus 50, that is minus 40, minus 20, 0, 20 and 40. So this is the deviation we got. And ui, because again it's a little bigger value, so that's why we have taken it h as 10, or you can also take h as 20. So if you take h as 10 or 20, it will much reduce the value. Let's take h as 20 even. So accordingly, because all these are the multiples of 20, 40, 20, all these are the multiples of 20. So that's why we can take 20 also. So accordingly ui is di divided by h, that is minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. And now accordingly what we'll do is we find out the value of, so accordingly we'll find out the value of Fi ui, and Fi ui is frequency into ui, that is 15 into minus 2 is minus 30, 8 into minus 1 is minus 8, 0, 29 into 1 29 and 17 into 2 is 34. And if we take the addition of this, again we will get the much smaller value. So 34 plus 29, if we add, we will get 63, and 63 minus 30, 33, 33 minus 8, so we will get 25. So for finding out the mean, what we need to do, assumed mean, that is 50 plus h, that is 20, into summation of fi ui, that is 25 divided by summation of fi, that is summation of frequency. So if you add this frequency, what you will get is 15 plus 8, 23 plus 21, 44, 44 plus 29, 73 plus 17. So accordingly we will get 90 here. Now if you solve it, 0 and 0 will get cancelled. So we will get 50 plus 50 by 9. And if you solve it, what will you get? 50 plus 50 by 9. So 50 by 9 is approximately 5.55. So accordingly you will get the mean as 55.55. So this is the method of finding out the mean by using any any of the method like step deviation or direct method. And this we have find out the mean in case of continuous frequency distribution table. So again same method, but here you definitely need to take the class marks, because class intervals should be given in if the continuous frequency distribution table is given. So definitely you need to take the class marks, and accordingly by using any of the method you can find out the mean.